On this episode of Ghost Hunters International, the team travels to Argentina to search for the apparition of a young girl at the Eden Hotel.
Nina, can we see you? Put your hand where my hand is.
Oh my God, it moved.
Can the team help this lost child, or will chilling shadows put an end to Dustin's solo investigation?
Something just moved from back of that room.
Then the team heads to Australia to investigate a house with over 70 years of paranormal activity.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
When ghostly whispers order the team to get out, will they flee the Monte Cristo homestead?
And just after hearing footsteps from behind me.
All right, everyone, this is La Falda, Argentina. We have one of our biggest cases to date. Brandy's gonna fill us in.
Hey guys, we're headed to the Eden Hotel. Many believe that this is the most haunted location in the entire country of Argentina. Now, it was built in 1897, and it has a pretty extensive history. It was a high-end spa that drew in guests from all over the world, including Albert Einstein and the Prince of Wales. Now, at one point, the hotel worked towards treatment for those suffering from tuberculosis. But what you have to understand is that the people suffering from tuberculosis were actually the very wealthy. So they kept what they were doing very secret at this place. They didn't want people knowing that there was sickness at the hotel.
Well, could you blame them? Mr. Einstein, this is actually the executive suite. It's to the right of the tuberculosis wing.
Over the years, the hotel has experienced a lot of looting and vandalism, unfortunately. But now, part of it is restored, and it works as a museum where they give tours. Now, our client's name is Rose. Some of the staff members are actually afraid of working there. They want answers. They want to know that there really is nothing to be afraid of.
All right, Hotel Eden, straight ahead. This thing's huge. It's gonna be a long night. Rose.
Hello.
How are you?
Welcome to the Eden Hotel.
Thank you very much. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Dustin, Barry, and Paul. Well, we're very excited to be here. And first, can you tell us some of the history about the hotel?
The estate was bought in 1889. The hotel was opened in 1899. It was a very expensive hotel, only for the rich and famous.
If you could take us to where the paranormal activity has been reported so that we know kind of how to follow up and what we're looking for.
Okay.
All right, we'll follow you.
There was a girl who died of tuberculosis here, and she was the daughter of a prominent doctor.
I have given many tours where the children will tell their parents they were invited to play with a little girl. The kids would go into one of these rooms, play and talk as if there was another child in the room with them, but there was nobody else in there.
Do we know, Rose, in which room the girl died?
Yes, the third door on the left.
Definitely want to check that out this evening.
Okay.
All right, Rose, we'll follow you.
Okay. Maria Kroner was the owner of this place from 1904 to 1912. She died of cancer, and the story goes that you can hear her laughter. She was seen several times.
I was in the lobby of the hotel by the main stairs. I looked up and I saw this lady, this being at the top of the staircase. It moved down the hall and I chased it toward the balcony. If it was a person, I would have seen her down that long balcony, but nobody was there.
Okay, come this way. This used to be the imperial room, where people had their meals. People who work here hear noises, like people whispering and noises of dishes moving.
So it's as if the dining room is still functioning. Dishes moving around, people talking.
Yes.
All right, shall we head on?
Okay. Well, this is part of a basement. The person working here told us that he saw a shadow moving fast.
All right, gentlemen, fast-moving shadow. What do we got?
Paul has a device he's brought with him which might be effective down here.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to give the IR strobe a run.
So we'll see how it does. All right, I'm going to watch my head and follow you out.
Okay. There is some interesting story that happened in this house. This house has the story of the presence of a baby still here, a baby who died of hypothermia.
When I was living in the house, late at night, when I was sleeping, I would hear the sounds of a baby crying. I would get out of bed and look for this baby, but never found it, or a reason for the sounds. It was so disturbing to me, I moved out of the house.
We've done several hotels before. This one has a really strange story with this child that died of freezing to death, hypothermia in the middle of the night, and still cries out. It seems to be both residual and interactive, so if we keep the cameras rolling, there's a good chance of catching something.
Okay, guys, that's it. Camera number 1 is up in the balcony, where the apparition of the former owner is said to appear. Camera number 2 is on the outward balcony, so we have the entire balcony covered. Camera number 3 is in the bar area, and camera number 4 is placed so that we can determine if there was anyone close by, because we have wireless running in there where the reports of the dancing and the partying is said to happen.
All right, well, they look good, Barry. Let's go out there and find some answers. All right, let's get the lights out. This is a room that the doctor, his daughter died of tuberculosis in. Mm-hmm. And when little kids come through here, they're beckoned into this room.
Really?
Brandy and I came up to the second floor to follow up on the reports that the spirit of a little girl has been interacting with other children, inviting them into her room. You know, she only appears to children, so if she were to appear, it might be good for us to kind of give her some space until she gets a little more comfortable with our presence. Hola. Mi nombre es Rob y mi amiga es Brandy. ¿Qué es su nombre? Niña, can we see you? Would like to come into your room. Would that be okay?
If you understand what we're saying to you right now, can you please make a noise in this room?
Now here's what I want you to do, okay? What I would like you to do is come over to...
What was that?
Thought it was over by you. Now here's what I want you to do, okay? What I would like you to do is come over to...
What was that?
Thought it was over by you. Sound like a mm-mm.
Was not me.
At one point when we were in the young girl's room, I was sitting down, I was trying to make the possible spirit that was there more comfortable. So I said, can you come over and sit by me? And it sounded like a tiny response that said, mm-mm. Now, if you're not feeling so shy anymore, I'll play a game with you. We want to find the other people in this hotel. Can you come with us and show us where they are? Brandy,
Yeah?
put your hand where my hand is. Right hand.
Oh. Oh my God.
I asked the little girl if she could take us around the hotel, and I felt intense cold spot, as if something had moved alongside me.
It moved. It went into here. and it was really low to the ground. Rob had felt a cold spot near the floor. I felt it too, and I actually traveled through the doorway into the room that I was standing in.
Take my hand again. We checked, there was no drafts, there was no cold air coming into that spot. EVP session end.
We're setting up a strobe in the wine cellar because there were reports of fast-moving shadows. Hopefully the strobe may capture some of that.
Oh, I love it when a plan comes together.
There's also a vibration sensor running down there, which will also check for any vibrations that should appear. And an audio recorder down there as well.
Sir Paul and Barry, we're in the basement area. Thank you.
Okay, ready to go?
Let's do it. The IR strobe actually enables us to see fast-moving shadows or apparitions. Much like facing a strobe towards a fan, you're able to see each fan blade. There is a theory out there that the flashing lights actually might be enticing the paranormal activity, increasing what sort of results we're getting.
This was a dining room, so you get the stories of the dishes clanging together. But they also said there's a lot of like little whispered conversations going on in here. So it's hard to say whether it's residual or the voices are actually reacting to something in here. So I think if we get a nice little spread away from each other and kind of have our ears open and recording, we'll see what we get.
Okay.
Set the EMF in the middle.
EMF stands for electromagnetic field. If we can find fluctuations within that field and no natural causes for it, then the possibility exists that it could be something paranormal.
If there's someone in here with us, we'd like to learn the history of Hotel Eden. Would you be willing to talk about these things with us?
The EMF just clicked.
Is that the EMF?
Yeah.
If you are indeed able to manipulate that box, that sound that we heard, would you be able to do it one more time just to verify your presence here? Did it go off?
Yeah, it just went off again.
Myself, Joe, and Ashley came to see if we could make contact with the spirits who were said to be moving around in here. We made contact, all right. It was almost immediate. Were you here in Hotel Eden during the 1930s?
It just went off.
Were you also here during the 1940s?
It went off.
Wow.
Can you make that noise louder?
I can hear that from here. We asked question after question after question. Not once did the meter go off. When mid-question or answer a question differently, seemed to just keep going. Do you know why we're here?
It went off.
I'd like to thank you for taking the time to communicate with us. Could you give us one loud sound in order to say goodnight? Good. Our results in here indicate that this may be an intelligent haunting, a spirit who is well aware of our presence and is actually, in this case, eager to communicate.
Game's done.
All right, let's go.
A solo suite inside the little house where it said that the spirit of a young infant remains. Your mother neglected to go to check on you, to keep you warm. As a parent, I know what it means to have that relationship with a child, and I can't imagine what it would be like to have lost a child. So anytime that is one of the claims that is brought forward to us, I want to do everything I can to try to make contact. People say they can still hear you crying. If for some reason you're afraid to come forward into this room, if you want me to come closer to where you are, if you can make a sound in one of those rooms, I can come over there. I'll just stay at the doorway if you'd like. What was that? I heard something there. I'm gonna leave that over there. Was that you that made that banging sound? There was a double thudding sound, like a banging sound coming from near the hallway. I want to come a little closer, okay? I don't want you to be scared, okay? Are you able to make that sound again? Are you afraid? Something little moved across the back of that room. People say they can still hear you crying. I was in a little house trying to make contact with the spirit of an 18-month-old boy who died of hypothermia. Are you able to make that sound again? Are you afraid? Yo, something just moved across there. Okay. I've seen a couple of apparitions before. I am in no way new to this field. During one of my questions, what appeared to be a very small gray, silvery shadow crossed from right to left, and it startled me quite a bit. I'm just gonna place this recorder here. Okay? Are you looking for your mom, little guy? I'm sure that your mother didn't mean to harm you, but you somehow have to move on now, you know? Whatever that step is, I don't know. I thank you for your time and take care. I kind of left with this feeling of sadness to know that, you know, this small child is for some reason still there. There's really no other way to explain it.
What's the flooring like? Terrible. In fact, beyond terrible. Dangerous. Let's go.
Barry and I were investigating the second floor of Eden Hotel, trying to see if we could communicate and get any evidence of this little girl who was supposedly died here of tuberculosis.
I want to try and reach the young girl. Will this be possible this evening? If there's anyone up here, could they please make themselves known?
Tu hablas inglés?
Is there anyone here? Would you prefer we left the building? And we certainly give it a good try, and we'll see if we caught anything.
All right, let's get the lights on and meet back at Central Command.
The small house, seeing what looked like a small child walk by was really startling to me. Anytime you have a personal experience, you always want some type of solid evidence to back up that experience. I'm really hoping that we do have something. It's just going to come down to what was actually captured that we don't know about yet.
We're about to go into the analysis now for the Eden Hotel. We have a lot of analysis to do and see if any of the experiences that were had by the team are reflected in anything that we've captured. Paul, I know that we had an experiment running down in the basement. If you could cover the audio from that would be great.
Yep.
Let's just get straight into it and see what we can uncover. Okay.
Hey guys, going over the video from the strobe experiment, and although I didn't capture anything visual, I did have audio also running. If you could just listen to this for a second.
Yep, there's no doubting those are footsteps. What else did we have running in there that would give us any information of what was going on.
Ashley, could you cross-reference the DVR and just make sure nobody was walking above us?
Looks to be clear.
Obviously, we can cross-reference with our DVR system to know that there was no physical presence going down there. So that was good.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Hey guys, I have something here, and this is in that little house where Dustin did his solo investigation. Take a listen.
Go ahead.
Would you like to play?
That's actually kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Would you like to play?
So he wasn't alone in there after all?
No.
Hi, Rose. Good to see you again.
Hi. Well, what news do you have for us today?
Quite a bit. Quite
yes?
a bit. Myself and Brandy were in the room where the little girl is said to visit young people who pass through the tour of the hotel. At one point I said, would it be possible for you to take us around the rest of the second floor and show us where the other apparitions might be? At that point, I had an intense cold around my hand, which was down at my side, as if someone or something had taken a hold of my hand. I had Brandy verify it by putting her hand in the same spot, and she said she could feel it trail off into the next room. We didn't see it after that.
Wow, that's astounding.
Absolutely.
I have something to share with you which I've never experienced before. I was down in the little house where you had talked about the young child. So I went and I sat in the hallway. A very small silvery shadow walks by very quickly.
I'm not surprised because workers here have been through that experience, so there is no doubt about that. But, well, now you have...
I definitely don't have any doubts either about it now.
Okay.
I had the camera in the room behind me. That camera was able to capture a voice. So I'm going to play that for you.
Okay.
Would you like to play?
Like a child making some noises?
I can't really make it out myself. It's a whispering of some sort.
Now, this next one, this happened in one of the rooms on the second floor that is just beginning restoration.
Okay.
Could you say one of our names?
It's a kind of whisper.
I'll play it for you again. I want you to listen right in this area here.
It really sounds like the word why to me.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Definitely very strange. The next one, this is again myself and Brandy. We're up on the second floor, and we want you to take a listen, see what you hear for that.
Why have the lights up?
And what do you hear her say?
It's like a sound of wow.
Exactly. It does sound to us like wow. Rose, we got a lot more news for you.
Okay.
You told us about footsteps
Yes.
that I heard next to the stairs going down to the basement. And what we did is we actually placed a wireless recording device there. And there was something that was captured, and we can verify that no one was there at the time. Let's take a listen here.
So the footsteps were really, like I said.
Absolutely.
Wow.
At one point, I was with Barry, and we were up on the second floor here in the main building, trying to look further into the story of this young girl who had the tuberculosis and passed away. It was a voice that came through.
Oh, was a kind of hello?
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
But that was clear.
It was very clear, and it was just myself and Barry there, as far as we knew, but sure enough, there was somebody trying to get our attention.
Oh, wow. Do you think that the hotel is haunted?
For myself, Dustin, and the rest of the team, is this hotel haunted? Yes.
I don't know what to say, but I hope that not in my house.
No, you're perfectly safe. There's no reason to believe they will travel home with you, but this place was great.
It's definitely one of the best places that we've investigated, absolutely.
I don't know how to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Rose.
much. It was our pleasure.
All right, shall we go?
I have to say that I couldn't believe it before, but now with all this evidence you provided us with, well, I feel so enthusiastic about hearing all this, and we thank the team very much.
This was a good investigation. Personal experiences backed up by real solid evidence.
You know, I think by doing cases like this, we're really setting that precedent.
Let's go find the rest of the team and keep moving.
Rock and roll.
So we're coming up on Junie, Australia. This is where the next big case is, and Brandy's gonna let us know what's going on.
Hey, we're headed to the Monte Cristo homestead. Now, it all started out with a guy named Christopher William Crowley in 1876 when he built the Railway Hotel. And he became very wealthy. And at the age of 69, Mr. Crowley died in the house. 23 years after his death, Elizabeth Crowley ended up dying at the homestead as well. People are seeing full-bodied apparitions of Mr. and Mrs. Crowley, as well as maids and young children. They're hearing disembodied voices of Mrs. Crowley yelling at them. We have moving objects, footsteps, extreme cold spots. Now, Reg, he is our client, and he lives at the homestead. It acts as a partial museum now as well. And he would just like for us to come in and be able to further document what it is that they're experiencing.
All right, let's get to it. Reg.
Hello there, how are you?
Rob, how are you?
Nice to see you, come on in.
All right, thank you. Wow, look at this.
I'm very excited about GHI being here today because there's a lot of unsolved mysteries type of things, and I'm hoping that they may pick up something in camera shot or sound and to verify some of the things that have happened. Welcome to Monte Cristo Homestead. It was the home of Christopher William Crowley and his family until she passed away in 1933.
Well, do you think you could take us around and show us one of these?
Yes.
All right, where would you like to start?
We're going to the dining room. Okay. So just follow me across.
Got it. So what do we got in here, Reg?
Now, in here, Mrs. Crowley will order you out of the house if she doesn't like you. And if you're in a group, if she orders you out, you're the only one that'll hear her. That's their portraits up there, Mr. and Mrs. Crowley. That's how they looked in 1907. We've got a music box down there. Now, Jennifer, my granddaughter, was winding it up and the dust cover came down on her fingers and she couldn't lift it up.
There's nothing you can really, like, catch on, or?
Have a look. This is where Mr. Crowley died, in this room. And he died from carbuncle getting infected from the old starch collars, turned gangrene. That's rotting flesh, and people often pick up that smell and hear a sickly death smell. Now, this is a room where our daughters used to see the faces at the window.
When I was 9 years old, I shared a bedroom with my elder sister. We saw a face at our bedroom window, which was the face of a man, early to mid-20s, long hair and a beard. We'd get a fright and scream out to our dad, and he would come in and there was no one there.
The story was that a girl was supposed to commit suicide off this balcony, or she was pushed. And we know she was pushed by Mr. Crowley because a lady on a deathbed said she saw it happen.
Reg, do we know anything more about why this young woman was murdered here?
She was pregnant.
By Mr. Crowley, possibly?
We should imagine, or one of the boys, yeah. And this is where I used to hear the lady's high heel footsteps walking around. She went clunk, clunk, and kept on walking. Now, fellas, this is the original homestead they first built when they came here. And when they built the big house in front, this became the kitchen and servants' quarters. The Crawleys brought up 10 children in this little house. I've had a lady come in here and stop at the doorway and see a woman sitting down there in black with 2 maids behind her. The lady housekeeper that was here allowed to live on after Mrs. Crowley died, she's been sent near the back door about 3 occasions. And she still had the long black dresses right down to her ankles in there. Right, well, that's sort of the end of the parts that I wanted to show you, see if you can help me with.
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to, Reg. It's time for us to get to work.
Anyway, it's nice meeting you, so we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Reg, see you soon. Thanks for everything.
That's if you're still here.
Oh, we'll be here.
Right.
We we've got sounds, we've got full-bodied apparitions, movement of objects, just a full variety in every area. So we'll be documenting with our cameras, our audio equipment, everything we have to see if we can find scientific evidence of the paranormal. All right, where we got the cameras pointed?
Camera number 1 is down in the dining room where the lid was smashed down onto the child's hand. Camera number 2 is on the staircase. Camera number 3 is the low-lux camera, which is in the bedroom where reports of the faces against the window were said to happen. And camera number 4 is out on the balcony where the reports of this lady is said to walk along there. So if she's walking tonight, we should see her.
All right, let's get those lights off and go to work. Okay. Brandy and I came to the old homestead to follow up on a lot of reports of visual activity in here. We got an apparition here, we got an apparition by the door.
Audio session, Rob and Brandy in the old homestead.
All right.
What was that? Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Audio session, Rob and Brandy in the old homestead.
All right.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. Sound female to you?
It did, and it sounded like it came from over here.
Well, Brandy and I were investigating in the old homestead. We were just starting to get our equipment out. Seconds after we turned it on, we heard a female voice. Give us a sound. Make a noise if you're here. Doesn't have to be right near where you are. Obviously, we can't see you, but could you?
Did you hear something?
Yeah. At one point, there was some sort of noise or strange sound coming from the doorway. I'm playing that back right now. Ready?
The hell was that?
I don't know. I asked for a strange sound, and I got a strange sound, but only when we go back and we can put it on the computer and really get some headphones on it can we tell exactly what we found. Anything you want to say? Anything perhaps that you want to do? Okay, let's back it up.
All right.
We wish to address Elizabeth Crowley.
Barry, Paul, and myself decided to go and investigate the dining room where Mrs. Crowley has been known to whisper in people's ears to get out.
Miss Crowley, we were told that you smashed the glass cover down on top of the child's hand as it played with the machine. You want to try the same with me?
What the hell? That sounded like somebody had walked behind me and caused the set, you know? Mm-hmm. Seriously, someone felt like someone was behind me.
Ashley, did you say something there?
No.
No one said anything over here.
I thought it actually was Ashley was exhaling or something, yeah?
No, I was breathing normal.
It didn't take very long that Paul had heard something like a footstep, and at that particular moment, I could hear exhaling or something, yeah? Were you part of the Crowley family? Can you move anything in this room?
You tapping your fingers?
No.
Seriously, I thought someone was tapping the table.
No.
Well, it's on the audio.
Okay.
You need to repeat that sound. Otherwise, we cannot conclude that you're attempting to make communications with us. You're attempting to make contact.
Is that you?
Yeah.
What was that?
During that particular session, the table gave a loud crack, and Paul was very quick off the mark and said, "Can you do that again?" Of course, another crack came.
But that was a pretty big bang.
Yeah, that
Where was it
moved the
from?
table.
It moved the table.
It moved I felt the table move, and I haven't moved at all.
Thank you if that it was you who did that. You know, thank you to...
Hold on.
And just after hearing footsteps from behind me.
It sounds to me as if it's coming from behind Paul.
Whichever spirits are here, we ask them to come forward. Once again, I call upon any of the spirits, please make themselves known. And of course, then the radio fired off, which I was wearing on my belt. It startled everyone in the room. But after that moment, the moment was lost. Everything was gone. We couldn't get anything to reproduce. Okay, I'm going to set thermal up over here, brother.
Okay.
Just kind of cover the area. There we go. Just give the room just another minute to settle down.
Dustin and I started the investigation in Mrs. Crowley's room. The room being so small, we had limited places to move. So Dustin sat on the bed, I sat on the edge of the bed, and we started doing an EVP session.
Mrs. Crowley, we know that you had a very difficult time after your late husband, Mr. Crowley, had passed. We know that you were a very dedicated and faithful wife, and that you loved him very much. Is it that same love for him and for your home here together? Is that why you're still here?
It still looks very much like you had it. The people who are here take very good care of it.
If you could speak either into this camera that I'm holding, red light on the counter, or the red light in Joe's hand, at any time, we'd appreciate it. Mrs. Crowley. What was that, dude?
That was the window.
It's twice. Okay, the curtains aren't moving.
No.
I had asked a question directly to Mrs. Crowley, and right off the top, the window right next to us started rattling quite violently, I'd almost say. So if it was a breeze, man, you'd think the curtains would be blowing in with it, right?
A little bit, yeah.
You know what? We got the thermal, man. Let's take a look around the seal of this window.
I don't see any.
And sure enough, you know, the window was colder than the rest of the room, but no seeping drafts that were able to be noted. That's interesting, man. This is a quick start, too, like as soon as I mentioned her name.
Yes, Mrs. Crowley.
And it hasn't happened since. I think the important thing is that the 360 mic was in there for the whole night. So if we've got a steady rattling of that window throughout the night, then we have to throw out our experience. But to the best of our ability, when we're up there, it seemed pretty legit.
All right, let's get the lights on and meet back at Central Command. This place is really built up. It has a huge reputation. Now we gotta find out if they have the evidence to back it up.
You know, each team really covered this place from top to bottom. The evidence review for this case is really going to be monstrous. The visual reports are just very, very numerous. You almost can't blink, because if you miss a frame, there's a good chance that you're going to miss some evidence. So we're about to go into the analysis for Monte Cristo. We were using a lot of equipment that night. I know that there was a lot of personal experiences had as well. So we want to see if there was anything that has been reflected and collected by our own devices, so that we can understand this location better. There was a lot of reports, visual activity. So let's get started into it and see what happens, okay?
Hey, Barry. I want you to listen to something. I'm going over the audio that Rob and I did in the old homestead.
Okay.
It's a little difficult to hear, so I'm hoping that you can actually clean it up a little bit more.
Okay. I think we've got it there. That sounds better.
Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to us or communicate with us?
Certainly for me, it sounds very like pick me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if he's saying pick me, out of how many?
That's one. That's just the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good catch, Brandy.
Hey guys, going over the audio in the old homestead, I got something. It's pretty clear.
Anything you want to say? Anything perhaps that you want to do?
The question, his answer is, get out.
Well, how'd you go, fellas?
Oh, I think it went really well. It's good to see you. You know, you've had experiences here, so you said, listen, can you really show me some evidence of what's going on? And that's what we came in to do, and I think we've accomplished that. The first thing that you're going to hear is myself asking a question. This is out in the homestead.
Yes.
And I'm asking, are there any spirits here who want to come forward and communicate? So we got kind of an interesting response to this question that was posed.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, we want you to give this a listen.
Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to us or communicate with us?
Sounds like definitely someone whispering there, doesn't it?
Now, the message that we got, it sounds like someone saying, pick me, which is pretty interesting to say. Is there anyone who will come forward? Somebody says, yeah, right here, pick me. We can loop that so you just hear that whisper.
Yes, there's no mistake about that.
So there's something I want to show you. It was captured on one of our small mini DV cams. Myself, I was with Joe Chin. We were up in Mrs. Crowley's room there, the little church area. I want you to see what happens as soon as I mention Mrs. Crowley's name.
Oh, right, yeah.
All right. Mrs. Crowley. What was that, dude? Is that the window?
Something moved or something happened?
Yeah, and it was the window that was rattling there.
Right.
We were in there for quite a bit before,
yeah,
and throughout the night later, and it never happened again.
Yeah. Very good.
All right, I've got other things to let you hear.
Now, this one was Brandy and myself again in the old homestead. We were pretty much wrapping up. This is the last thing on the recording before we leave the homestead.
Anything you want to say? Anything perhaps that you want to do?
Quite impressive.
That's what we thought. Now, it's not often that we get the message, get out.
Ah, very good.
That's kind of what, you know, the messages that you told us that people have been receiving.
Yes.
We picked one of them up.
Oh,
we were actually...
Well, that's great.
Yeah. So, based on this, we can, you know, comfortably say that there is paranormal activity at the homestead, certainly. Does it get to the point where we could say 100% the place is haunted? No, but I don't think that's going to change your mind in the slightest.
Not in the slightest, no. Well, I'd like to thank you fellas for coming along and doing this for us. So, all the best.
Thank you,
Reg. Thanks
Reg.
a lot.
Thanks, Reg.
All right, shall we head out?
We'll head out.
All right.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't pick up anything, but I'm very happy with the results.
Reg comes in and he says, look, I want you guys to come in and document. And I think that we did a good job of that.
Came to us with certain claims, and I think the stuff that was captured backs up a lot of those claims.
The EVPs we picked up, you can hear clear as day what's being said. You know, there's no missing this one. Reg is thrilled about it. Yeah. I'm thrilled about it. The team should be proud of themselves on another job well done.
Absolutely.
Rock and roll.
It's my line.
Stole it.